Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. Can you watch my stuff?
What, like in your house?
Can you watch my stuff?
Like just sit here and watch it?
I know you go use the restroom. Can you watch my stuff?
No,
No.
I will not.
I was wondering, do you have can you watch my stuff confidence?
To ask a stranger to watch my shit?
At the airport. I was in the airport yesterday for like 5 hours because my flight got delayed. And I wanted to know, I had to like build up the confidence to ask some random lady, can you watch my stuff?
You shouldn't do that.
Well,
I used to work at the airport.
And what happens?
Well, if you see luggage unattended,
I know. It's a thing.
they might think it's an explosive device.
Yeah, but and also the lady was on the phone for like, I don't know why some people use the plane and the airport to like call their entire family, like to call there and catch up for like 45 minutes apiece. Like, you ever been next to somebody at the airport and they're just having like a deep conversation and it's like, you're at the airport. Like, this can't wait till you get home.
Dude, people treat the airport like it's their home. They really do. Like, do you have sleep at the airport confidence?
Not at the airport. I'll sleep on the plane, obviously, but not at the airport.
Yeah, dude, like, have you ever seen those college students with their, like, big, heavy backpacks?
Yes.
And they use them as a pillow, and they're just laying there. And it's like, you're gross. You're not that tired.
Yeah.
You're fucking 22 years old. What are you tired from?
Yeah, just stop resting on your giant North Face duffel bag.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Your
dad paid for you to study abroad in Mexico.
Yeah. Wake up with your backpacking ass.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I had a moment. This is why I asked you, can you watch my stuff? Because I was sitting there for a couple minutes, like, I didn't get this far, but I almost like rehearsed like how I was going to ask. Like the way I asked was like, hey, listen, my knees, because I messed up my knee, which I'll talk about during this episode. And I was like, hey, my knee's really messed up. I wanted to use the bathroom. I don't want to bring my heavy bag. Do you think you could watch my stuff? And she was like, yeah. Like, she gave me like a weird short answer. And I was like, my name's Sean. If that helps us get familiar. I said that.
Hey, it doesn't help. That would not help. My name's Sean.
I go, well, here's the thing. I was thinking of if you see something, say something, or don't leave things unattended. So I'm thinking if I give her my name, now we have a relationship.
Can you be honest with me?
Yeah.
Did you really say, ma'am, have you ever heard of The Tonight Show with Jimmy
No,
Fallon?
I did not.
I'm Sean Donnelly. I could prove it. Just you get off the phone.
YouTube.
Get off the phone with your mom. Get off the phone with your mom. Just put the phone down for 2 seconds. Get off the phone with your mom. Go to YouTube. Donnelly.
No, I did not do that. But I will say, when she gave me she gave me a very terse answer, like, okay, and I was like, oh, and I was like, I hate this woman immediately. I've never gone from being so subservient and so like people pleasing, like, hey, if you don't mind, to like, well, now I hate you, because she was so. I would have been like, yeah, sure, no problem. Like, if it seemed kosher.
But that's you being a people pleaser,
right?
Is you saying no problem,
right?
I think that is not. I don't think that's an okay question.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the follow-up.
With what's going on in aviation these days.
Yes. No, you're not wrong, but...
Did you hear what happened in 2001?
No. What are you talking about?
September.
September what?
Oh, there's a disaster.
No way.
Yeah. Well, you were living in Brooklyn at the time. You were way too far away from what was happening.
It's a couple boroughs over. Yeah. Anyway, no, but there's an added part to the story.
Boroughs over.
There's an added part to the story where I did that. I felt like, okay, let me rush to the bathroom. Because then I'm like, when you're in the bathroom, when somebody's watching your stuff, you're on borrowed time. So I'm rushing it. I wash my hands quick. I did wash my hands. I get out of there. And then I sit back down and I go, thank you, of course. What do I say? Thank you so much. Oh, my God, thank you so much. Of course. Over thank you'd.
Yeah.
About 2 minutes later, she goes, okay, I'll be right back. And then she leaves her stuff. There you go. Now we have a relationship. So I'm like, oh. So she was cool with that. So I was like, yeah, all right, no problem. She didn't even ask.
So you built a bond.
I built a bond with some random lady. And then she got back and she told me about how she doesn't know how the American Airlines app on her phone works. And I don't know. They send me these things, but then I have to pay for them because of the text messages that I go, you don't. And I was saying stuff to her, but she was doing like that mom thing because she was a little bit older, where she wasn't responding. So I'm like, no, you don't have to. It's just a reminder from the app. You don't have to pay. Nobody pays for texts anymore. You don't have to pay for the text. Don't worry about it. And she was like, I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, you don't have to pay for that stuff.
Do you think she took a piss or a shit?
She took no, she went to throw something away. It was a very quick one.
Oh,
But she had to walk over a couple of feet.
Did you just take a pee?
I took a pee, yeah.
You didn't have. You didn't have. Can you watch my stuff while I take a shit? Confidence, certainly.
No way. I don't think I'd ever have that.
Yeah, that's too long.
Ever in a million years, I wouldn't have that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the confidence to ask for it. I would just lug everything with me, bad knee or not.
Well, I was gonna do that, but my knee was really hurting, and I was like, you know what? And then I saw some guy. You want even worse in the same realm. And not that I want to spend too much time on this, but not too far after that, there was some dude talking about sleep at the airport confidence.
Ugh.
This dude, youngish dude, passed down in his chair, and everybody's waiting. There's a packed Austin airport. I was in Austin. The airport is the worst. I don't think I'll ever fly in there. I think if I go back to Austin, I'd probably go to San Antonio and drive because it's like really close.
It's really that bad?
It's, Austin is blowing up. Everybody knows that. Ever since Joe Rogan.
He did. He changed.
He did change the comedy scene in Austin, but from moving there. But no, the thing's been blowing up for like 10 years. So Austin, the airport, isn't built for the amount of people that are flying through there now. So they probably added some stuff. But you're in Austin Airport. Some airports at a certain time of day. It was Monday at like 4 o'clock. It should have been fairly dead, I feel like.
Yeah.
No, it was jam-packed. Because people were like flying through there or they were doing whatever. So Austin, the airport.
Like bachelorette party destination too, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah. It's a big party town now and big comedy town. But anyway, this kid's passed out on the chair. And I watch him get up, and he gets most of his stuff, and then leaves like this like furry. I don't know if it was a sweater or a cummerbund or something on the chair. And I noticed it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll help this kid." But I did. I think I went overboard. I went, "Hey!" I went like too loud. I went, "Hey!" Like that, and I was like almost aggressive. And I was like, "Oh, I just meant to like remind this kid because he was like 10 feet over." And then these two women are like, "No, he's leaving that to save his seat."
Yeah.
And I said, in my head, I went, "Save his seat? How about that? Save your seat confidence at the airport?"
With a Kilmer bun.
With a cummerbund? Which is that? What'd you call it? Did you call it a Kilmer bun?
Kilmer bun? I don't know how to say
Did you say like a Val Kilmer bun?
A Val Kilmer bun. That's just Val Kilmer with a ponytail. Kilmer bun.
Oh my God. Can we just call man buns Kilmer buns going forward?
I got a Kilmer bun.
Just because, I'm sure we could find a photo of Val Kilmer with a man bun. There's no way he didn't have one at one point in his life.
At one point.
But anyway.
How do you say the word?
Cummerbund.
Cummerbund.
Yeah.
I've worn one before.
You have?
Yeah, not a fuzzy
For a
one.
tuxedo?
Wait, what percentage of you actually thought that it was a cummerbund?
Like 2%. But I was like, because it didn't look like a sweater. I think it was like I don't know what
Maybe
it was.
Maybe it was a shawl.
A shawl? Did you call it a shaw? Like SHAW, like Robert Shaw from Jaws?
Yeah. It's shawl?
Shaw, SHALL.
Oh, I always thought it was shaw. Like a shawl.
No.
Whatever, dude. Apparently I'm not fucking in the heart of the fashion world like you are, dude. Jesus. Like an America's Next Top Model over here. You mean a cummerbund?
Cummerbund? You called it a Kilmer bun.
Because I don't know what it is. I don't wear them all the time. I haven't worn them since choir.
Is that? I thought you went to a wedding or something.
No.
I've never worn one in my life, and I got married once.
Chamber choir.
That's when you go. That's
all the
when
best singers were in it.
Okay, that's when you go really fancy with your tuxedos or whatever outfit you're wearing. If you have a cummerbund,
yeah,
it's like really high end.
And then if you want to get a nice hairstyle, you get a Kilmer bun.
So you can have a Kilmer bun while wearing a cummerbund.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now, please, everybody, we're calling man buns Kilmer buns.
Kilmer buns.
Because it makes you look like Val Kilmer. And Heat.
Did he have a Kilmer bun in that?
I don't know, he had long hair, I think. Did he have long hair in there?
I don't remember.
He had just watched, man, TikTok is becoming the place. And also, we are on TikTok. And where are we on TikTok?
At Brand New Jerks Pod on TikTok.
And please check out clips from the show on that platform. But that's where I'm checking out all my movie clips now. I'm scrolling through TikTok, and I'll just stay right on like a minute and a half Heat clip or like a Pulp Fiction clip or people. That's what people's accounts are on that. They just repost movie clips, and there's two moronic things I do on TikTok. Well, there's a lot, but I mean, there's two that stick out. One is I watch movie clips that I've seen a million times before, which is very
I do
soothing.
that too.
And the other one is they have those TikTok lives. You can go live on TikTok, and people will just point the camera towards their TV and play old school Nintendo and like Super Mario.
You watch that?
I will watch it for a way longer time than I should.
That is wild.
Dude, I've watched it. No, I'm not talking like 45. I'm talking I watched it one day for about 15 minutes.
Okay, that's a good question. So that, do you have another specific rabbit hole video that you'll watch? Like a YouTube rabbit hole?
Oh, yeah, but we can't. Yeah, if you want to get into it. Yeah, it's UFO videos.
UFO stuff.
Yeah, UFO stuff. But besides that, I'll get into. I usually go certain topics. So if it's movie stuff, like I'll go into like things about Tarantino, or I'll go into like or I'll watch a bunch of Curb clips in a row or something like that. Like it's usually one topic like that. But as far as like UFOs, I had a whole year and a half of UFO.
Mine's rap battles.
Oh, I watched those too.
Love rap battles.
Oh, I watched that guy Rome.
Rome's good.
He's good. That guy.
I like Pat Stay.
I don't know
good.
Pat Stay.
I like Math.
Whatever that one. Every time I see one now, I follow it because I'm like, oh, I want that same battle to show up that guy Rome's in. I think it's like their championship.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like 8 Mile.
I want to go see one live. I never saw one live.
Can you go live?
Yeah, my brother used to do them when he was in high school.
No,
He was
he
pretty
did
good.
not.
Yeah, my brother was.
Was
a good
he really
rapper.
good?
Yeah, he was.
Do you have video of him doing them?
I don't, but if you get him drunk enough, he'll do it in person.
And he's good?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Wow, pretty talented.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect it, especially if he's good. Like, you ever you're drunk with white people and one of them starts to freestyle and
that was me. I would do it because my brother did it, but I was not nearly as good as him.
Will you do it right now?
And it was always just silly stuff.
It was like
I do not have freestyle rap sober on our podcast confidence right now.
Yeah.
But maybe we could save it for the next episode.
Can we do? We gotta do a setup where we do a video of us both freestyling.
Yeah, just get me drunk. What are you talking about? You know the way to my heart. Get me drunk. Yes. Get me talking about the old days when I was sitting in an abandoned apartment with a bunch of friends drinking a Mickey's 40.
I remember Mickey's.
Freestyle rapping on a lawn
Didn't
chair.
Mickey's 40 have a shamrock on the can or?
It had them on the ball. They had the grenades too. I think they had the shamrock on the grenades. The grenades were great.
We would do, it was Old English, and then they had the 40s was a big deal for a while. And they had the 22s of St. Ides that were like fruit flavored. I remember we would all drink those.
The elk.
Because you were like 18 and you were like, well, this goes down easier.
You think you could drink one now?
It would taste gross. Yeah. I have enough of an acquired taste to alcohol that I'd want the alcohol taste, not the.
That is a generation separation that I assume we have the same thoughts on.
What's that?
Is 40s.
You want to get into it?
Yeah.
Let's do it now. We'll do generation separation
40s.
now.
I think that's a thing that was big in both of our generations.
It's even okay. So the background of generation separation is that you suggested a section on the show where we show the differences in opinion of our generations that are fairly close but not super close. Like you're I think 11 years.
We're about a decade.
We're about a decade apart. Now we are two different generations. I'm in a thing called Zennials. You're a millennial, full on. You're like full in the millennial generation.
Like mid-millennial, yeah.
Mid-millennial, right. So, but I was actually surprised you brought it up because part of the reason, it's not why we get along, but I'm saying I'm always shocked by how much shit you know from my time. Like, you know really old stuff because of your brother. Because your brother is how old?
My brother and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah,
your brother,
my sister's 42.
Yes.
42.
All right, so it's your sister,
and
yeah.
my brother is 38.
Okay, yeah. So you skew towards that way, but you also know your own stuff. But that's why I thought it was funny that you suggested, because you do know the stuff from my generation. But you have a different experience with it.
Well, what I'm saying is I feel like an 18-year-old in high school right now is not drinking 40s as much as they were when I was younger.
No way.
Or when you were younger.
No way. No, I think you were the tail end of 40s probably, I'm guessing.
I would think so.
No, now I don't even know what they'd be doing.
40s were fucking great and cost efficient.
They were $2? $1.50?
It was I think it was like $2.50 for a Budweiser 40, and probably $2.50 for a Mickey's 40.
And then you would just, I remember, yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. And also they 40s speak very well to teenagers because you grab one and then you're always hanging out outside in a parking lot. That's what we used to do.
In a paper bag.
In a paper bag,
Just looks cool.
or in a field somewhere, depending on where you're from, you know?
They did not age well, 40s, in the sense of
Well, not as far as, yeah.
They got warm really fast.
Oh, well, I think that's the downside.
They immediately didn't age well.
Well, I think that's why they probably sold them for so cheap, because they were like, hey, well, no, they don't. They're not assuming they're going to get warm, but that's probably why they weren't bought as much. Like if you had 6-pack money, like you're some college kid, but if you're like a teenager in high school and you're going and you're like, what's a fast thing I can buy? I don't care that it gets warm. Like, because let's be honest, like I don't. If you're getting a 40, I don't think I was. How many 40s did you finish when you were?
2 40s would get me shit faced.
240 should have killed you.
Yeah. Well, it did.
When you were like,
fucking be thrown up in a closet, hiding from some girl's parents.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think when I was in high school or when I was like 19 or whatever, and I drank a 40, maybe I'd finish a 40 and I'd be done. It's 40 ounces of alcohol. It's insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Isn't that 5 beers?
It's 3.5 beers.
Oh, 12 ounces. I'm thinking 8 ounces.
3.5.
I'm thinking like cans of beer.
A 40 is about 3.5 beers. It's like a cut of alcohol.
Yeah, and when you're a kid, that's plenty enough to get you loaded.
Oh yeah, dude.
But so you think the generation separation is where that we're on the same page?
I think that this one that is a certain thing that is universal to the both of us. I think we had the same reaction to it. Like, yo, these are awesome, and now it does not age well. Like, I don't think I could drink a 40 right now.
No, and I wouldn't want to.
I mean, I could on a dare. If you're daring me, yeah, we could go to George's and get some fucking 40s right now, and and ruin the rest of both of our days.
Should we do that for YouTube? It's just us.
We should drink some 40s.
The 40
YouTube.
episode?
Yeah.
40 minutes while drinking a 40.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to drink a 40 in 40 minutes.
Oh, I love that.
Let's do it.
That'll be next episode.
Let's do it. I'm down for it.
That'll be fun.
But will we, like, the other thing is, I don't think they sell them as much. I bet I drink 2 of them. Do they sell them just as much, you think?
I bet I drink 10 of them.
All right, take it easy.
I'll drink 100.
When you're going back into high school brain, you're like, what do you drink? 240? I drink 10. I drink 10. Like, that's like that overcompensating, like, high school thought.
Oh, high school drinking confidence?
Yeah.
That was the only time I probably ever had real confidence. Was I could chug a beer faster than anybody. I could drink a ton of beers. Remember Mad Dog?
Yes, I got sick off Mad Dog.
Did I?
I think it was a bunch of either a 40 or a tall boy. I went to my cousin's house in Staten Island, my cousin Brian, and I was probably like 18 years old. We hung out with girls. There was like girls there. We're in one of their driveways, and I had so many. It was like malt liquor. I puked right on their drum.
And it's easy to puke on that because you taste it, and as a kid, you're like, "Yo, this is sweet. Beer sucks. I could drink. It's like me joking around. I could drink fucking 20 of these strawberries and cream."
Yep, absolutely.
And then you're just throwing up fucking red in the snow, and it looks like you're in The Shining.
Dude, I forget how old I was. Did you ever hear of a thing called a Red Devil? You ever hear of Red Devil? I don't even know. I'd have to look it up. Nobody ever knows the name of this drink, right? It doesn't taste like alcohol. It just tastes like juice, whatever. But it was like it was like gin, rum, every different type of alcohol, a bunch of it, and then like grenadine and whatever other sweet stuff thrown into one thing. And one time, I have a story where I was probably like, I don't know, man, 21. And I went, my friend and his girlfriend, they were like, hey, do you want to go to Lux? Which was like this, talk about generation separation. It was like an 80s dance club. It was like an 80s style dance club. By this point, probably late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But they would have 80s night. So one night they were like, do you want to go to 80s night at Lux?
Sounds fun.
It actually is, it is really fun. They probably still have those nights. I just don't go to clubs. But I was like, sure, I'll go, whatever it is. So we go and we're hanging out and those things taste so good. And, I'm not really good with self-restraint. So granted, there were probably 8-ounce cups of them, but in a half hour, I had about 6 of them. I just downed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I was fine. And I was like, oh, and then about 20 minutes later, my friend and his girlfriend were like, hey, this kind of sucks. You want to just go back home? And I'm like, sure, let's go back home. And I get in the back of their car, and it hits me like a hippo smacked in. It was like right away, I'm just back, like loaded in the back of the car, just swaying back, singing, just loaded in the back of the car, right? Dude, I get home, living at my mom's house, my parents' house at this point. I get dropped off. My mom and my sisters are like, it was like so far back in the day, they were on the house computer looking stuff up on the internet. It was like that long ago where they were like on the, what was like a Dell? We had like a Dell.
Yeah.
And they're like surrounding, like, I don't even know, probably looking at like houses or something, like just for fun. But like, they're like, I remember they were in my sister's room on the computer looking up stuff. And I walk in and I'm like, what's going on? Hi guys, what's going on there? And like right away, they were like, ugh. You stink. You're drunk. Go to bed. And I did not have a lot of drinking experience at this point. So I was like, that's a good idea. I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed right this minute. And I went in my room and I fell like a tree into my bed. Dude, I woke up the next day. And if I sat up, I got like full on nauseous. If I stood on my feet, I had to puke. I had to lay in bed. I was like a Civil War child. I was like a kid dying during the Civil War. Like I couldn't. I'm like I had like a compress on my head. I'm lying in I have a blanket over me. There's somebody saying last rites. Like it was like bad.
You were like a sick kid in Deadwood.
Yeah, I was a Wild West kid with like I had diphtheria. Isn't there like
yeah
what that's called? The
just fucking Al Swearingen, like that little cocksucker's dying over here.
Yeah, a guy. The doctor comes to see me with that medical bag. Like,
yeah, you had the mumps.
I'm just sweating. There's people praying by the bed. It was so bad.
You had measles, mumps, and whatever the fuck rubella is. Nobody ever died from rubella.
No, there's nobody. You're right. That's such an old thing. Yeah. Like that even anything in the modern times, nobody ever got rubella.
That sounds like a pasta.
Rubella?
Yeah. Can I do the rubella with the pesto, please? That sounds delicious.
Oh, this rubella is al dente. So, dude, that was like But I'm trying to say the reason I brought it up is because, it was one of these fruity drinks that when you're a kid, you're like,
yeah,
let me get those because you don't want to drink alcohol yet. You want it to be easy to drink, you know?
My hangovers, I like to say this thing where I'm like, I'm old, I can't do it like I used to anymore. I've always kind of gotten pretty bad hangovers.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely notice.
I mean, they're worse. They're worse now for sure because I'm older and like I don't bounce back as quick. But they were like, I remember them being bad and me being like violently ill from drinking when I was a kid.
Oh, maybe
I started drinking really young.
I wonder if you're allergic to booze.
I thought you were going to say, I wonder if you're just a huge pussy, bro, and don't party like me, dude.
I wonder if you have a vagina, bro.
I remember one of the most embarrassed I ever got getting sick from drinking is I was hanging out with these dudes that I really wanted to be friends with in college. And me and my buddy go over to this guy's house for a pregame, and there's like 4 of us total. And we're playing all these like drinking games before we go out. And they're drinking games that require you to chug. And I've always been able to chug beer really fast. I don't have a gag reflex. And I would just be able to neck them. And they're like so impressed. They're like, dude, I've never seen anybody chug like that. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm the fucking coolest person you've ever met. Get a little later in the night. And I just out of nowhere projectile vomit across this
just
dude's apartment.
Exorcist style.
And it hits this dude's hoodie that was sitting on a chair, and it was a new hoodie that he was bragging about, like how much it cost. And it was so nice.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck. So I'm like in the kitchen, like trying to clean up puke everywhere. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Oh man, I'm an idiot. And I'm not even sick. It just, my body was just full of booze and it had to come out some way.
Yeah.
And I remember the dude like, that's my new hoodie, you know, and they were kind of giving me the, yeah, it's good, we'll get it, just get the fuck out of here, kind of. And I remember giving this dude money. I was like, gave him like $40 out of my pocket. I was like, I'm sorry, man.
That's cool though, because it couldn't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, the hoodie. How much could it have been? 60 tops.
I was never quite friends with those guys again after that.
But they were like the cool guys.
They weren't even the cool guys. They were just I in college, I would find friends, but they would be kind of like one-offs, just one-nighters. One-night stand friends.
Really?
I'm not fucking them. I'm just hanging out.
You mean
with
from
them.
drinking?
I didn't find any super close friends in college or like a crew. I just had like a bunch of rando buddies, but like never like a crew.
Well,
and these dudes, I was like, maybe this could be my crew.
And then it didn't work out.
Me and my.
So what would happen afterwards when you would see them? Would you just kind of like, would it be like that weird
I mean, we
nod
hung
thing?
out like in like social settings and like knew some of the same girls and stuff, but never. I was never part of the team, and I was almost there. I almost infiltrated that group.
Did you beat yourself up about it when it didn't work out? Or are you just
No.
like, what are you going to do?
I didn't care.
Yeah.
It's not the first time throwing up in public has ruined something for me. That's why I don't do Cub Scouts anymore. I quit Cub Scouts because I threw up, and I was so
I love
embarrassed.
how you say anymore. Like you're like, my Cub Scout career would be blown up right now.
I'd probably be running a troop. I'd probably be a leader. I'd probably be that guy. They're like, Ray's really good guy. He's really good with the kids. And then somebody else is like, yeah, but he doesn't have kids of his own. That's kind of strange.
Everybody wants to be a Cub Scout, but everybody gets weirded out by Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
Once you get to Eagle Scout, people are like, really? Are you doing it for college? Like, they always want there to be an excuse about why you're a troop leader or an Eagle Scout.
Well, I did it for 3 months because they came to our school and they showed us this video that was like bow and arrows and like a kid shooting an arrow, zip line, guns.
They just show you an episode of Forged in Fire.
It was like watching like Man vs. Wild. It was just showing all this stuff, and then I end up getting there. My scout leader is one of the kids' moms, and we just painted Christmas mugs. Because the previous scout leader got sick and had to be removed from his position.
Now, got sick.
Did I do quotation
You just
marks?
did quotation marks.
Yeah.
In your voice and physically for the video. Got sick. Did you ever find out evidence that was really...
It was very speculative that his sickness that he had caused him to be inappropriate with children.
So his troop went from Forged in Fire to Naked and Afraid.
To not okay.
To not okay.
It got very Miramax in the late 90s.
I feel like, do you think the priests ever once the priests that molested the kids want to turn around and go, what about the Cub Scouts? Like, you ever think they ever want to just go, hey, it's probably the same kind of thing?
No, I don't think they got that defensive. They were just like, well, at least I'm getting a promotion now.
Or they're just like, I guess it just move me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of those dudes get promoted.
I know they get moved around to different parishes and get better gigs, and yeah. That's a whole bag of worms.
Episode 11, the kids sex episode that we're doing right now.
We got 2 new episodes. We got 40 and 40 minutes, and the kids.
And then us attacking the Catholic Church once again.
But here's the thing: it's good you brought up being drunk. I'll just say that your old pal Donnelly really he's gonna have to take a little bit of a hiatus from the booze. I was in Austin and I was hanging, and I think I was like trying to force a good time. You ever do that? We were like, well, if I drink more, all this will become more fun.
Yeah, and were you noticing other people weren't
I'm realizing
drinking?
that now. I didn't have that thought in the moment.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I was at a comedy festival. It was really fun. The festival was fun, but it was like the after party, and I was like, I figured people would be hanging, and but I was doing a thing where I was drinking enough before I knew it. It was like the end of the night, and everybody was like kind of like Irish exited, and I'm there, and there's like one other person there, and I'm talking to, and I'm like, oh, this is like done. It's And in all fairness, this venue, the party was upstairs, and this venue, even when I was sober, these stairs were like weird stairs. Like they had the way they're like the strip on them was set up. Even sober going down them, I was like, this looks trippy. Like they're all like weirdly awkward stairs. But don't get me wrong, I'm not making
it's
excuses.
definitely the construction's fault of the building. Definitely probably the stairs.
And I was like, it was like late. It was like 3 a.m, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty drunk. I'm gonna go back to my room, to my hotel, and I full on just like super confident walked down these wonky stairs and tripped down the first 2. Thank God, not the whole way, all the way downstairs. Fell immediately, but like twisted my knee. Like I think I probably. My friend Andy told me that I probably tore my meniscus, which is like in the front of your knee, and I've done it before. Like,
That's
I've done it.
Not good.
Oh,
Like a meniscus tear. That's like you should get it checked out by a professional.
well, the swelling's
Still
gone
causing
down.
you shit. Yeah.
What?
But I think that's something that means it's just going to be just my professional opinion. It's something that's going to probably continue to happen. Maybe
It's happened before to me. It's happened to me before, but it did go away. Like I was able to. But you know what though?
I can send you to my guy in Astoria.
No, you don't really have a guy.
Yes, I do have an orthopedic. I hurt myself drunk too. My knee.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like. Did you feel embarrassed after it?
Well, see,
I'm asking because I did.
Did you?
Not people
Did
saw me
anybody see
after
you
I
fall?
fell. After I fell, they saw me, and it was like people in comedy, and then I tell people because I told Soder, he's like, oh, what's up with your knee? And because I was like limping, I'm like, oh, I fell drunk, and he was like, at least you admitted it. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Lie? I'm like, he's like, oh, you should have said you were saving kids out of a burning building.
Or like, dude, just an old football injury flaring up.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns in one game. Just the Al Bundy. But like but yeah, I probably should. Maybe I should go to somebody. Because I think I was having issues with that knee after the first time I did it, and then this happened.
I'll put you in touch with my guy and just
now
tell him I sent you over there.
Would he need insurance? Because I don't have any.
No, he wouldn't need insurance, but he's going to charge you money.
Is it a lot of money?
I don't know. I have insurance.
No, so I think it. But I was talking to Andy Haynes, who's a really funny comic, and he's like, I got surgery for mine, and I was told that all you need to do is like just treat it.
Are you icing it? Are you heating it?
I'm icing it, and I'm putting Aleve. You know Aleve, the pain reliever?
Yeah.
I'm taking Aleve, and they have like a cream that you put. First cream of my life. I've never used a cream.
Like a salve?
Like a salve.
Yeah.
Like a salve. The cream goes over it, and it's super mentholy.
Like a Vicks Vapor Rub?
That's why I think it's partially, it has those kind of ingredients in it.
I love Vicks Vapor Rub.
So basically, the point of the story is I feel like a jackass. I fell on those stairs, and the rest of the week, I had to limp around, and I rested it as much as I could, and it didn't ruin my weekend, but it definitely affected it.
Did you drink again after that?
I did. But I was super careful. I didn't drink as much, and I was super careful.
Well, you needed to drink it to help numb the ankle.
It
or the knee.
absolutely did numb the ankle.
It did it?
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I've had a lot of knee problems in my day. But still, I would say one of the things that I woke up most embarrassed from when I was drunk is we talk about my mom a lot. She did me a solid once. Is I went out for a friend's 21st birthday. I was 22, and I was dancing with a larger woman on the dance floor, and she went really low. She dropped it really low, and I went with her because I'm a good dancer and a people pleaser even when I'm grinding. And I just heard my pants completely split.
Oh, no.
So I was like, good dance. And she's like, it's the middle of the song. I was like, well, I'm sick. And I went and sat down, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
This is at a party or a dance?
Like a nightclub.
Oh, wow.
In Pittsburgh. And I remember calling my mom, and I said, hey, Mom, think you could do me a favor and pick me up in Station Square? Something really embarrassing happened. She's like, just tell me. I was like, I split my pants. She's like, well, do you want to keep hanging out? I could just bring you jeans. My mom came down to Station Square, about a 20-minute ride, brought me jeans.
Man, what a good mom.
And I pop out of the car in different jeans, and one of my friends sees me. He's like, yo, were you just in the car with a chick, dude? And I was like, all right, you got to keep this between us. Yes. And he's like, oh, damn, I didn't even know you were with a chick. He's like, I thought you were dancing on that bigger girl. And I was like, no, that chick was my mom. She was bringing me extra jeans because my pants split in half.
See, you still told him.
Yeah, and I told him in confidence, and I didn't realize till like a couple years later that he told everybody that.
What an asshole.
Fuck. I would have done the same.
Maybe he's jerk of the week.
He might be.
We do have. Oh, see, I'm I can't even sip properly. Why?
It's just funny. I mean, you laughed at me when I had my injury.
Oh, that's right. When
I was a burn victim,
and you wanted to put a salve on it.
I did put tons of salves on it.
Yeah, that's when you
It's all healed now. Thanks for asking about my recovery.
That is true. I haven't followed up on that.
No. I've noticed.
We have a pretty good jerk of the week. I actually asked you. I think we should probably maybe we get an opinion from listeners who the jerk would be in that situation. But I think we picked
Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk would be his trans counterpoint.
Yeah, that's when he transitions. I'm sure he'll do that for attention next. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, you were pretty adamant that you're like, he's been jerk of the decade. That's what you said before we started.
I just don't think he's cool.
He's not, and it is kind of like when you were trying to be cool with those kids when you puked on their hoodie. Like it's like that kind of situation where it's like it does seem like he's trying too hard sometimes.
He's me puking on a hoodie.
Yeah.
He's not that cool.
But there's a lot of people that do think what he does, like that he knows what he's talking about.
I guess he does, and he's probably, I mean, obviously he's brilliant, and he's very successful, and he does some good things, and maybe his intentions are good, but it's just like, that's fine, but you're not cool.
Every time that people talk about how great Elon Musk is, I always think of that video where they unveiled that car. Remember that video? Did you see that? And I think it was like a Tesla that was like a concept car Tesla where they're like, yeah, it's indestructible. You can't damage this car or something. And then he like to illustrate it, him or somebody else threw like a brick at it or something, and the window just cracked. The whole thing just cracked. And I haven't seen that clip in a while, but I always think of that clip. I think it was him. Maybe I have this information screwed up, but like when he's like, we are doing all these crazy things and whatever it is.
That's how he talks?
No.
Okay. I didn't realize that after he built that Tesla, he went to take down John McClane. Yeah, I didn't realize he was one of the henchmen from Lethal Weapon 2.
He just becomes Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
He's like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
Takagi. Is that what the guy's name was? Takagi? I just don't. This is going to make me sound like a bully, but we've just let nerds become the cool guys. We've really let that happen.
Yeah, but you have to an extent, because then you still have cool. And you know what? That's only in certain realms because, dude, when you can make the thing where in comedy, there's a big cool factor in comedy right now that like cool kind of outshadows funny in a lot of ways.
For sure.
A lot of time. And then I mention it all the time, but there's a Colin Quinn quote about how comedy shouldn't be cool. So technically that in that part, like cool is taken. And like, I don't know, still the people at the forefront are like, I don't know, Rihanna and Jay-Z and musicians are still cool. But then you're right. They've like the tech people are like rock star status, but they're so awkward. They're like, oh, you can't even play the part. Like Mark Zuckerberg in that Meta video is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever seen.
The only person that I think that is pulling off being cool that's in that world is Jeff Bezos. And I'm going to tell you why.
No way.
He's attempting, though. He got jacked. He's bald. And he's trying to, he's at least trying to be, physically intimidating.
You see his New Year's Eve picture with him and his new wife or his girlfriend?
Yeah, he looked awesome.
No, he didn't. He looked like Paul Schaefer from David Letterman. He had those stupid round glasses on and he looked like Disco Stu with no hair from The Simpsons.
But he's jacked.
He's kind of jacked, but he's not really, he's not Jason Momoa jacked.
No, but who is?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa is cool.
Jason Momoa is really cool because if you ever see him, he can be a badass, and then if you see him in interviews, he's kind of funny and he's down to earth.
Yeah.
Because guys who are built like The Rock,
but he's not a nerd.
Like The Rock is, even though The Rock is cool getting made fun of, you have those interviews where Kevin Hart makes fun of The Rock and he's laughing. The Rock, he's into it a little. He's like, yeah, that's right, I'm the shit. Like Kevin, there's a video that's always online of Kevin Hart being like. Or Jack Black or somebody going, I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, I go to the gym, this is what you gotta do, and he's doing the impression of The Rock, and The Rock is laughing, but he's not laughing yeah, I'm an idiot for doing all that shit. He's laughing yeah, that's me, I'm the shit.
He's a fake laugher too.
Yeah, I think The Rock is just like a brand. You ever watched, I watched the John Oliver show, and they talk about how how China has become such a big deal that like these celebrities just kowtow to China, and that John Cena, who I do think is funny and is pretty cool, seems pretty cool. There's like he did a movie where they disparaged China, and he like there's like a viral video of him like apologizing to China.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. That's strange.
It just what happens is when you get to that point, like you can even say that like when you get to that point, that's what happens. There's comedians that have gotten to that point where it's like you're gone beyond being a stand-up and now you're a brand. So comedians are going, I'm going from stand-up comic to celebrity, hoping to get to the brand part. And The Rock would be like a brand part. Ariana Grande would be a brand part. Like the people who make more money off non-entertainment things that they're non-performing, like who is it? Rihanna or somebody that has some kind of like clothing line or something that makes her, or one of them makes. I should have more info. Makes them like $1 billion a year or something insane. Where it's like, which I think Rihanna. I think it's Rihanna that's a billionaire, but it's off business ventures, not just her being Rihanna.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can. Can you watch my stuff?
No. Do you think I'll ever be famous enough to have to apologize to a whole country?
You mean no, and I'll tell you why. Because you're a comic. I'm not going to say you couldn't be famous enough where you have to apologize on Twitter to just Twitter for saying something about.
I'm going to do it right now.
You're just going to apologize?
Yeah.
To China or to who?
No.
Which country?
I'd like to apologize to the country of Italy.
Is there why?
Yeah. Well, I made fun of Italians a lot. So I'm sorry. I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm sorry. No, it's just coming from a place of jokes, Italy. I just think your Americanized people are funny. You do funny things.
American Italians.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious the way that you overpronounce deli meats. I think it's funny that you all think that you have a cousin that is in the mafia.
Like The Sopranos is funny. Like they're just funny people.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Italy, and I hope you accept my apology.
Nobody's going to see that.
What?
Nobody's going to see that.
See this apology?
Yeah, nobody's going to.
I'm just glad that I got that I cleared the air. And I hope
you know what would be so great is if like your apology video to Italy like started some international incident like worse than the Ukraine. Like it just went viral one day and they're like, wait, Ray's been making fun of us the entire time? He's been doing a Chef Boyardee voice? What?
Forget about it.
He's been saying gabagool?
He's been using forget about it as an answer for everything, no matter what it is.
I will say, like we've said it before on this, like fat people have it awful. Like they're the one thing where people get mad when people make fun of fat people now more than they used to, but like it's still pretty accepted to make fun of heavier people. And then also Italians, like people are so brutal to Italians.
Yeah.
Irish too to an extent, but not as much. But like Irish, maybe the Irish voice or whatever it is, but like Italians, people really,
shit on
really,
Italians.
People shit.
That's why I'm apologizing.
But like if you did that, but like Asian countries and any Asian ethnicity, you did that, you really would get canceled. You know, like if you know.
Well, I'm not apologizing. I've never said anything disparaging about any Asian country.
No, I know. Oh, you're saying
not in the privacy
you
of my
never
own home.
have, right? Okay.
Unless I'm by myself.
You're just
at
saying,
home or in the car.
You just say Chinese jokes to yourself.
And somebody cuts me off or something. I think I told you my when I worked at the Italian restaurant, my boss was a Italian guy and he used to overpronounce all the different Italian foods. And I remember saying, "Hey, Bill, did you want the free calamari over at that table?" He was like, "Calamari? It's the calamari." And I said, "It's frozen." You know what I mean? Like it's frozen calamari. It's not calamari.
It's frozen. They changed the spellings of the words. It's like, no, I know phonics. It's calamari. It's Calamari, right? Isn't that calamari? Yeah, you made it with a G in the beginning.
Calamari.
With the end had an H. Galamari.
Ganol. That's a cannoli. Ganol.
Ganol?
Yeah, you want a ganol?
No, I've never heard that one, and I'm from New York. Are you serious?
Yeah, I've heard ganol.
It's a New York. It's like a New York thing. Or an East Coast thing, because you're Pittsburgh.
How do you say the cheese?
Which one? Mozzarella?
That's how you say it?
No, I say mozzarella.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
Because we're not jackasses.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Put a little mozzarella on there.
Yeah.
No, not happening. But the craziest one, and that's why it's the funniest, and that's why it blew up from The Sopranos. Gabagool is
Gabagool's great.
Capicola.
It really is Capicola.
There's not. I don't even think there's like maybe there's one matching letter.
I didn't know what that gabagool was for the longest time.
I didn't either.
But I would say
I've never had it in my life.
What? Okay, so you mentioned not to backtrack too much, but you mentioned Italians, fatties, and Italians and fatties, and the Irish. What else do you think is still okay? What other group of people do you think is still okay to make fun of?
Like bros.
What about the Jews?
No.
People still make a lot of jokes about the Jews on stage.
Yeah, because
They're usually Jews.
well, I wanted to ask you this: do you have a jerk store moment?
A jerk store moment from this week?
Yeah, I was trying to think of one that I had.
I do not, and I'll tell you why. I have went back into my shell pretty hard of being a passive person.
It comes in waves, doesn't it?
It really does. I was on a tear where I was being assertive, where I was standing up for myself in money situations, where I was standing up for myself, whether it be something as simple as somebody getting my order wrong at a restaurant and me speaking up, and I am just right back into my old habits.
I kind of I have one, but it's a little bit. It's not that exciting. Basically, what it was. You mentioned money. I needed to stay an extra night in Austin because of how I bought my plane ticket because it was cheaper. And I do a radio show, and I wasn't going to ask. It's serious. I wasn't going to ask for them to pay for the room, the extra room.
Yeah.
But I was like, they probably won't have an issue with this. And I did a live episode of the radio show at the festival.
Oh.
And I went, you know what? I'm going to email. It was a business thing because I'm usually very tepid as far as those things go. And not tepid, timid. And I said, hey, would you guys, it might be a long shot, might not. I was very, people pleaser in my email or my message. But I said, is there a way that would you guys be able to pay for the extra night? And, the hotel, it's kind of expensive. And they wrote back and they said, yeah, you can expense it.
Ooh.
So it worked out well.
That's
Which makes
awesome.
sense because I'm like I'm an employee, not a big deal. But I was like, hey, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, and it wasn't.
We should expense some lunch and ice cream sundaes after this, dude.
Well, there's not some global corporate entity that owns Brand New Jerks. If there was, I'd say let's do that.
Not there will never be.
I just become Elaine from Seinfeld. I just put it on the I just buy you a Russian hat.
You know my friend Bob Sacamana?
My friend Jay Riemenschneider, he tours all the time. But I think we're going to do a shorter episode today.
Yeah,
We're going to wrap this bad boy up. I think we did all the sections. We did Generation Separation.
we did.
We did Jerk Store Moment. It was kind of a...
Sometimes we're not going to have everything, okay? Hey, sometimes Ray and Sean are a little tired.
Yeah, and our Jerk of the Week is Elon Musk. We talked about it a bit. Let's go back to that just real quick. I just want to get your you think so you don't like him, so you think him buying
don't like him.
Him buying Twitter, good or bad thing. You know what he's going to do with it. He's opening it back up. He's not going to nobody will be banned from Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I kind of like that.
See, there you go. Now you
Make
like
it a
Elon
war
Musk.
zone again.
Yeah. And it's like it's so funny because it's like people are like, "Oh my god, you can't be that excited about it." It's just still going to be Twitter. I don't think it's going to lead to it becoming like the next TikTok.
He paid a lot of money
still
for
words.
it. Looks like he paid a lot of money for it.
A couple ducats.
40 couple ducats.
44 billion.
Billion. That seems like too
When you're
much. I think he
dealing-
overpaid.
40.
I think he overpaid.
It wasn't a jacket. It was. I think he's at a point where, you know what's so crazy? Elon Musk is at a rich point because he's one of the richest guys in the world. When you get that rich, you don't have a set amount of money. When you make yourself that amount of money, you have endless amounts of money because he's not paying $44 billion in cash.
No.
Right. So there you go. Like
It's not like multiple briefcases.
right, exactly. They're not just like rolling in a dolly with, or a skid of $44 billion. But like that's what happens if you get to the point where like that's the way the economy, I guess, is like if you prove to people, hey, I made myself in assets or my value is one of the richest men on the planet. you can get bankrolled for just endless amounts of money.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You could get loans. You could get whatever you need to make any payment at any time. Now, if they offered me to buy Twitter for $44, I would be like, all right, can I give you like 24 now, and the other 20 when I get paid Friday?
Well, I tweeted, ironically, I tweeted. I was like trying to think of a tweet for it, and I went, I go, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, and every time I get a couple of checks in the mail from gigs, I react like the families in those military guys coming home videos on.
We should not have that kind of relationship with money.
Not at all. Yeah. It's bad. Like I'm too old. I've also had. I'll even say this. I've had enough successes in my life that I should not be doing that with money. I should be way more sensible than I am.
Do those videos do anything for you?
They do. There was one that was in a stadium, and I think the crowd noise behind the family made me get more emotional. What does it more for me is the dog ones. The dog ones get it.
They do nothing for me.
Well, you don't like dogs. Well,
no, I don't dislike dogs. They're just the military come home videos.
Oh, the military ones?
They don't do it for me.
Why is that?
I don't know. They just...
You'd rather them... I thought you were going to give me an answer like, you should be back with the troops. America.
Sean, what do you think? I'm a monster? No. They just don't... They don't make... Like, I don't like things that are just forced to make me cry. And also, I don't fucking know these people. You know? This guy probably beat his wife before he was in the
You don't
military.
know me.
Yeah, I don't know these fucking people.
You're not here to make friends.
I need a... Oh, I've never been. I need a little more backstory.
I can see that. I think I can tell when they're genuine. You ever seen one of them? The best is when they bomb. The best is when those videos bomb.
Oh, I've never seen them bomb. I might like that.
I've seen... Well, not the military ones. I should clarify. Military ones are always usually a good reaction. Maybe they'll be like somebody doesn't really do that much, but they're still like excited to see the person. They have other ones where like haven't seen my parents in 2 years because of the pandemic. Went to go visit them at home, and then the person shows up, and the parents are like, "What are you doing here?" Just like they're just kind of like,
Alicia, you better not be bringing that COVID into my house. Stay outside.
But it's like they don't. They're not like, I don't want to see you bomb. They're like, oh my God, it's you. Like, that's just very, like, nobody cares.
Has there been one of those, like, military videos where a guy comes home from tour and the wife's just like, yes, Brad, I'm right in the middle of something. You know, like she's on the phone. Brad's home. Yeah. No, I don't got to go.
You know what? If you really wanted to go viral, you know what you do? Military guy comes home and catches his wife cheating.
Oh, like a Jody. They call that a Jody.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. That the guy that bangs the wife of a dude who's in the military, like who's on tour fighting for the country.
Stolen valor, different kind of stolen valor.
No, it's a guy fucking Marine's wife. Wow,
they call him a Jody. Where does the name Jody come from?
Do you want me to guess? I bet the first dude that really got popular doing it, his name was Jody. It was probably during the Revolutionary War. All these guys are coming back bloody and barefoot with their muskets. And, you know, George Washington just sees Jody jumping out of his window. He's like, Jody, you motherfucker. And Martha Washington was like, he was just fixing the sink. He's like, we don't even have running water at this point. You lying bitch.
He was changing a light bulb. Electricity? Yeah. Really? Jody?
Benjamin literally just invented that. He was not fixing that.
How is anybody named Jody after being called a Jody? There's people still named Jody.
Only a couple Jodys.
Not in Long Island, but
not in Long Island.
Maybe in your neck of the woods.
No, we don't have any Jodys.
All right, I think it's time to wrap it up, my friend. Are you ready?
Let's get on out of here.
And you know how we do it.
This is how we do it. With an awkward handshake amongst friends.
I really like to montage these.
I know. I just deleted all the videos.
It's quite all right. They're very big videos.
It's purely for space on my iPhone. Does the cloud work? All right. Good night.